Okay, see, I know this guy as a enthusiastic dancer and very good break dancer is what I always think about this guy. And now he brought his team to semifinals. It's none other than Arun. Okay, welcome to the show, Arun.
Thank you, Jagan. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Okay, now I'll go to Imti.
Welcome to the show, Arun. Again, congratulations on that performance. 50 knock that helped your team win against Strikers, and I think I was following the game very closely, and I know that your innings really propelled Dynamites while batting first and helped get that score of 124. And I did watch that over where you hit Parthiv for three sixers in the same over, and that really shifted the momentum, I thought. And very crucial and stupendous innings. Congratulations again, and good luck for semifinals.
Thank you, MT. Thanks for those kind words. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the semis now.
Okay, so now I'll go to Abhi.
Hey Arun, welcome to the show. Superb innings, man. When I saw you bat, I think the first time I met you this season was in the Michigan Cup, and when I saw you bat opening the innings, not opening, but you came in somewhere in middle, but the way you were batting, it was pretty. You look very confident, and then followed by the game where we played against each other in the last playoff game. You opening the innings, scoring those quick runs. It just felt like there's going to be one game where you're going to just take off take off with your batting, and that was this game, I suppose. And an excellent innings from you. But what happened in that 16th over? Tell us what what drove you to play such an innings of scoring a four followed by three sixes in that 650th or 16th over? Did strikers say anything to you?
No, actually, nothing special happened. To be frank, I got some chances and I sort of utilized that. So there were drop catches, I think, couple or one before that particular over, and by then the break happened, and then we had around 8 wickets in hand. So I thought it's time to accelerate because we want to put a good score, and we want to make sure that that score is not reachable when the team batting second when they're trying to chase it. So I thought, okay, it's time to accelerate, and that's when that over happened. I mean, nothing special or anything. I mean, if it's there in my arc, I was just trying to hit it. That's all.
Very good,
Nice,
man.
nice. Arun.
That's a nice answer. Okay, KK.
So, Jagan, you were mentioning a little bit earlier that Arun is known for his break dance, but I think in this game he made the entire strikers unit dance. That was amazing innings.
True.
He played for about 22 overs, opened the innings and getting a half century in the ECL special, and that to getting it in a quarterfinal and making a team win is in itself an achievement. So, congrats, Arun.
Thanks, sir. Thanks, KK.
Mhm. My question to you is, over the years, you were very well known for your bowling, and in the batting department, it was more of a mix and a hit. But this season, you have played some crucial knocks for Dynamites, and also in this game, you scored a half century, a match-winning half century, right? So, what is that change in your game? Is it the mindset? Is it the technique? Or just give us something.
No, it's about the role which you play in a particular team, right? So I've played with multiple teams, as you know, and each and every team sets a particular role to you. Okay. So with Dynamites, we know we have a deep batting order with Saurabh and Anil comes late. Okay. So we thought, okay, we need someone who can open, who can face good bowlers, and at the same time who can score quick if needed, right? So the role has been set. I mean, kudos to Vijay actually to set the role properly, to understand what's needed out of you, and that roadmap that has been clearly set, that really helped. Because if you ask me, and if you send me like fifth down and sixth down and ask me to smack from ball one, that's something which I can do. Maybe some games you will click and some games you don't. But if you give some few balls and then if you try to middle those balls, that's a different game altogether, right? I mean, once you start middling the ball, then you can see the ball clearly. Then it will be easy for you to clear the boundary or smack the ball. So whatever the role that has been clearly set, that's really helping instead of sending you with 6 overs to left and smack the ball when you try to hit. And then sometimes you hit, sometimes you miss hit it. So, but when you see the ball for a few balls and then when you try to hit it, it really helps.
Okay, so there he is, Arun giving us a crucial tip that, whichever team he plays for, send him up the order and he can make runs for you. Any captain, who's trying to recruit Arun for the next season, there's the tip.
No, actually,
I
it's for
don't
any
think Vijay is
batsman,
gonna
I
be.
feel. Yeah, actually, it's for any batsman, right, KK? As you know, if you are a batsman,
Yes.
you take few balls, like 10 balls, you can catch up those 10 balls. 10 balls, no runs, you can still catch up, just couple of hits, you'll catch up. Okay, so but the 10
True,
balls,
but
you get runs, yeah.
yes, but very well said, Arun. I think it was a very well constructed inning. You went berserk in that 1 over, but also made sure the wickets don't fall in the rest of the overs. You held through the innings, and in your bowling as well, you did not give away too many runs. You bowled well for a maiden as well. And congratulations and all the very best for your next upcoming game.
Yeah, thank you, man, thanks, appreciate that.
Okay, Arun.
Yeah,
Before I let
just
you
one
go,
point that I would like to add, it's definitely the Arun, whatever Arun mentioned, the point that him coming up the order, I feel it's a master stroke by Vijay because with Arun at the top, he can get some quick runs. Their middle order of Dynamites looks very strong with Venkat, Satish, Saurabh, and Anil. All these batsmen, Saurabh can just take away the innings, and whereas Anil, I've seen him play against Indus. So it actually that it strengthened their batting and took their batting deep with Arun coming up the order, and also while Vijay gives the chance to Arun also has to do his part, and which he's done excellent. So congratulations, Arun, and it's master stroke by Vijay for Dynamites to do this.
Thank you, thanks, man, appreciate that. Yeah.
okay, Arun. Before I let you go, I have one last question for you. Okay, nobody expected Dynamites to perform this well. Okay, and what happened? And what is the secret that you guys have done within your team to reach up to this level?
Yeah, the truth is, every team has a WhatsApp group, right? And if you pick the best 11 or 12 from that WhatsApp group, as at least from Dynamite's perspective, I'm talking, we can reach the playoffs every year. But the thing is, every year, since most of our guys have families and stuff, they usually travel to India or somewhere in summer. Luckily or unluckily, due to COVID, this year nobody traveled. Okay, so we we always had the consistent 11. So when you had a consistent 11 or 12, it really helps in putting a proper batting and bowling order. Okay, so that's something which was missing. I think I would say with my tenure with Dynamites, because people usually travel to India in summer and whatnot. So that really helped, and we had few new recruits like Prakash has been really good, and Amrit turned up a notch, and Saurabh and Anil has been really good for us this year. So yeah, a couple of new recruits and people consistently being available for playing 12 really helped.
Okay, that's a very well, very good answer actually. Okay, with that we'll quickly discuss about our game. Okay, if you want, you can listen, and at the end, if you want to add, you can add. Okay, Imti.
Yeah, I thought Arun actually brought up a very good point about the consistent availability of players. Like that really puts the captain and the team management in a good spot, right? When you have all the players available for at his disposal. So again, that was just an observation, but I think that was a really good point there. If we go into the details of this game, a very high scoring game, obviously runs aplenty in this game. Beautiful knocks again on both sides of the innings. Both innings there were like some great batting performances. But if we come on to the bowling side, I thought strikers, honestly, after the game against Gladiators, this was like the other extreme of their bowling performance. The way they bowled against Glads and bundling them for that low score, and then you come against Dynamites and then give away 124 runs, it's totally opposite performance, I would say. Barring Binod Singh, who bowled 5 overs, 7 runs, 1 maiden, 1 wicket, almost every other bowler went for runs. And also, like I mentioned, that 16th over where like the momentum totally shifted towards Dynamics. I think that over, this over that went for 23 runs, totally changed the momentum of this game, to be honest, and put Dynamics in the driver's seat, I thought. Uh, and then also in the second innings, it was equally ebbing and flowing the game. A very good bowling performance, I thought, from Dynamites to pull this game back, because at one stage I honestly thought Strikers had it in control and would chase this down. But then I think those spells from Venkat and Amrit picking those 7 wickets between them, although they came a little late in the game, I thought, but I think it did the job for them. And the very last over, a team hat trick for the Dynamites sealed it. But I thought if this game had gone to the last ball, it would have been very, very interesting, I thought, because Kapil getting out just 3 balls before the innings, I thought if he stayed, maybe there was a chance for Strikers. So it was a very, very close game. Unfortunately, one team has to lose. But again, very inspiring performance from Dynamites. I thought the way they have progressed now and going into the semifinals, I think their confidence is really, really high going into this next game. So good luck.
Okay, batting Avi.
Yeah, the batting Dynamites have consistently done well in their batting, and although they lost their 2 wickets in a short span at the top, credit to Parthiv and Binod there to put the pressure right away on the Dynamites batting. But they responded beautifully from this point on. Arun, who opens the innings this season for Dynamites, was at one end, and he was looking for a stable partner at the other side, and who better than Venki to support him. According to me, Venki is a reliable batsman for the Dynamites who strengthens that middle order that I was talking about. Both these guys have had a crucial, good partnership right from fifth over probably until the 19th over. They haven't scored quick until Arun fired until then, but they scored consistently on a 3+ run on average, which kept their scoreboard ticking. Strikers, looking from the strikers' point of view, they were not too bad at this point, as the run rate was well within the control. But what changed from here on was that the 16th over from Parthiv. Arun scoring 23 runs and to Parthiv with 3 consecutive sixes. Now the run rate from here literally jumped from 3+ to 5+, and Dynamites continue to do that till the end to keep that run rate around that. Arun, again, excellent knock from him. Congratulations, buddy. Well-deserved 50. And equally good contribution from Venki too. Happy to see him on the scoring side. 33 to him and a quick 14 from Anil in the bottom, not to forget his contribution too. Strikers batting, chasing 124 in a playoff game. I felt Strikers have done beautifully well. They needed a cautious start, and Strikers played well according to this. They had 33 runs before they lost their first wicket. And this is what you expect from their top order. Parag and Rahul playing well at the top with 10 and a quick 23 from Rahul. But things actually did take an ugly turn from here for Strikers, because there was a double wicket maiden over from Amrit somewhere in 9th or 10th over, and then there was Venki bowling another double wicket maiden over just before the break. Now that literally changed things for Strikers. They lost almost 5 quick wickets within a short span. And Strikers, they had to come back strong again after this collapse, and they did well. 28-run partnership between Kishore and Parthiv, and a 40-odd run partnership between Kishore and Kapil, and another 15-odd run at the end to take the game deep. Now Strikers, that's why I felt that they have chased this beautifully to come till the 25th over with 6 or 7 runs needed in the last over. That run out of Kapil is going to hurt them, but losing 3 wickets on the trot in the last over, I don't know how to comment on this. They still had 3 or 4 balls to get those 5 runs, but they failed to get that. At this point, I slightly felt, it was a Strikers game for the taking. But as I feel, it's always a tough ask for a bowler to defend 6 runs with this T-ball especially. But Amrit did well to absorb the pressure and, bowl the right balls. No extras conceded and 3 wickets there. Close game, could have gone either ways, but Dynamite triumphed in the end and in a crucial victory to move into the semis. So congratulations to Arun, Vijay, and Dynamite's team.
Okay, X Factor, Vamsi.
So in this game, like Jalen, we see a guy who's scoring 50 runs, and we speak a lot about him. But in this game, I think the X factor was the Dynamics bowling as such. They gave 2 extras in a high chase of 125 runs, right? Two extras in 25 overs. That's wonderful. And especially one guy needs to be spoken about here. That's Amrit Yadav. 4.4 overs, 11 runs, and 4 wickets. Bowling that last over, making sure the team wins. The strikers were chasing 7 runs in the last over, and one hit would have taken it away from them. But Amrit, I think, held it very beautifully, picking up those 2 wickets and helped by that additional run out of Kapil. So, team hat trick, but Amrit Yadav is the X factor. But coming to the man of the match, I think I have my own reservations to talk about something else here. In this game, Venkat Govindarajan, I think he's the most dependable player for them. You know that Arun played wonderfully. He was there for 22 overs. But Venkat Govindarajan coming at 2 drop, scoring before this particular knock, Venkat has only scored 1 boundary in his 90 runs that he scored prior to this game in this season. But in this game, he scored 33 runs with a strike rate of 75, a 4 and a 6. Well supported Arun, who is playing the second fiddle there. And then when it comes to bowling, he was called up as the fifth bowler. I see he's just a second. I'm trying to scroll down the scorecard. Yeah, he's called up as the fifth bowler. He bowls 4 overs, bowls 2 maidens in it, concedes 15 runs and takes 3 wickets. So 3 wickets and 33 runs, I think that's a performance to remember, especially in the quarterfinal. And so Amrit Yadav and Venkat Govindarajan are the X factors, and I would say Arun was their mainstay.
Okay, and with that we have completed all the games. Arun, do you add?
Before, is Arun on the call?
Yes, he's still here.
I have one question to Arun. The one important thing in their bowling I saw is why did Dynamites think of getting a new bowler in the 21st over? Karthik hasn't bowled until the 20th over, and he comes in 21st over, while Venki had 1 over left at the end. Arun himself had 1 over at the end. I mean, Arun, if you're okay to share these details, we wanted to understand why Karthik was brought in. And I totally understand if you don't want to, because there's a semis game coming up too. So.
Yeah, I mean, like rocket science or anything. So it's just that Kishore was batting really good. Okay, by then we have to give credit to Kishore and Kapil how they were batting, and Kishore was middling the ball. By then, to be frank, the pitch dried up. Okay, when the time second inning started, the pitch has been dried up and the ball has been coming nicely to the bat, and with wind carrying straight, so we thought let's take pace of the ball, right? We want to take pace of the ball because when we were bowling pace, Kishore was just trying to middle the ball and was going for 6. We know KT will take the pace off the ball, so we were just trying to see, okay, let's try to take the pace of the ball and see, because Venki was also good to take pace of the ball, but we want to try someone new and give batsman a surprise. That actually sort of eventually worked because we got the wicket of Kishore, but that's the trick though here.
Nice.
Okay, with that we have concluded all the games, and thank you Arun for joining our show tonight. And let's quickly get into the prediction part. Okay, we have 2 games, and I'll start with Imti.
Well, I will probably just predict one game. Umpiring one of the games. So
you are umpiring, so predict KRCC versus Dynamites game. Now that Aruni is here, so.
So actually, I was hoping to talk a little bit about the Pokhari Indus Hundred game. Even though I'm not predicting, I was just wanted to mention a few things. Like on the Indus 100 side, I thought like the team has really progressed well and coming to sorts and in the right frame of mind just before the crucial games. But I thought Manoj Singh in the batting department is due, and I somehow feel that this is the game where I think he will come out. And also in the bowling department, although Dinesh hasn't played much in the regular season, I think Dinesh is also due big time, and I think this is a great stage for him to perform. On the Pokhari side, again, like I think their batting and bowling has come along very well this season. They had a few hiccups in the regular season, but still, I think Vicky is missing in the action from what we know of his stature. So Vicky, I think, needs to step up here in the semi-finals, and also Prasanna for his stature. I think he needs to shine in this game. These are the 4 players that I've been watching out in this game. And coming to the other semi-final, KRCC versus Dynamites, again, This again will be a very close contest. I think it is definitely the KRCC bowling versus Dynamite's batting, in my opinion. Not that the other departments lack in any way, but if you look at the team strength, I think Dynamite's batting versus KRCC bowling. So that being said, again, I don't want to choose any team, but just based on the momentum, uh, I think Dynamite has a slight edge against KRCC.
Oh, okay. Abhi,
I'm not going to predict the second game, which is Indus and Pokeries, but the KRCC and Dynamites. It's a very difficult pick at this stage of the league. I mean, you're in the semis, and both teams are equally confident of making it to the finals. And why not? I mean, they've done so well to reach here and to get here. And you also had a match-winning performances from both the teams, Sahesh from KRCC and Arun from Dynamites. But if you actually, since I have to do my job of picking a team, and KRCC and Dynamites, they're equally good in their batting, but I feel KRCC is slightly ahead of Dynamites in their bowling department, because they have a few quality players there of Tamim Moni and a few other players. So I would see, only for this fact, that I would pick KRCC, but my heart says Dynamites. They've done very well to reach till now. I'll still stick with KRCC, but yeah, that's about it.
okay. KK, while you predict these games, I'll go get Hemant to predict these games. Okay.
Sure. So I'll start with the Thunders versus Pokeries game. So Indus Thunders have been in the finals 2 times prior to this contest, and Pokeries, I think they have been in finals for about 3 times. But because I don't want to do a player matchup, because both the teams have fantastic players. Each player from one unit has a matchup player in the other unit. So, but what comes to this particular point is the psychological aspect of the game. Pokeries are the team to reach the final for so many times without winning the finals of this year. Whereas on the other end, you have Indus Thunders, who have reached semi-finals twice, won the semi-finals both occasions. They reached to the finals and won it both occasions. So that is where the big stage performances from the past would carry a bit of baggage for Pokeries, and that is where I see Indus Thunders have a slight edge over Pokeries. And also, a few of the core players of Pokeries have not been in form this year. I would start with Prasanna Venkatesh and also Vignesh Venkatesh. They are not in form, so that would be on the back of Ravina last night. To see what can be done, to beat the defending champions. And whereas on the other end, you have Indus Thunders, who won both the knockout games very convincingly, and they know they are the defending champions. They've been there, they've done that. So I think Indus Thunders had a slight advantage. I would say 60-40. And when it comes to the KRCC versus Dynamites game, both the teams are playing a DCL semi-final for the very first time. So equally exciting for both the teams. However, in this particular contest, although on paper KRCC looks a little more stronger than the Dynamites, I say Dynamites, being the underdogs, have the majority of the support from the DCL community. So, most of the folks' mind would say KRCC, but the heart would say Dynamites.
Yeah, you brought in a very good point. I was talking to several people this weekend, and everybody, 90% of the people that I talked, they want Dynamites to win. Okay, maybe normally any underdog will get that support, right? Probably out of these 4 teams, and everybody's thinking that Dynamites is the underdog. Okay.
And that's the human psychology, right, Jatin? You watch the Discovery Channel where a tiger is hunting the deer, and you want the deer to escape. You want the deer to win the contest.
Yeah, true.
So just to add to that, Jagan, again, like KRCC versus Dynamites, like KK mentioned, KRCC on paper definitely a strong team. But again, like when you compare these two teams, KRCC is expected to win. But with the momentum factor also coming into play and the big stage game, I think Dynamites, it was not a fluke that they won the pre-quarter final. It was a real team effort that made them through that. And then also again against Strikers, they were down under, won the game. So these kind of performance really pump up the team. The confidence just goes sky high, like when you win such games. And that is the only reason. Again, KRCC on the other hand also has won two very good games, equally good games, but they're expected to win those games, and that's why that slight difference between these two teams momentum. When I say momentum about in these two matchups.
I want to
Okay.
mention one other point here, Jagan.
Yeah.
If Dynamites can repeat the kind of bowling performance they had in the quarterfinals, right, with respect to the extras, they are going to make KRCC sweat out for the runs. And if they can put those extras below 4 or 5, then definitely it will be a very, very, very close contest.
Okay. There's a message from Dynamite's captain Vijay. The KRCC is a better team. We will try to match them, and we'll try our level best to get them. In other words, okay. And with that, I think we have concluded tonight's show, and I'll go to last words to I'll start with Imti.
Yeah, again, a big thank you to all our listeners. Again, we went 30 minutes overboard. This has been the case in the last 3 weeks. Even though the games are reducing, we are still going overboard. And we used to do a good job when we had 10 to 12 games to cover. But as the games are reducing, we are still going more deeper into analysis, is what I think. And that is the beauty of this game. Like the playoffs, we tend to talk more. We try to analyze and we try to think about the upcoming game. So again, a big thank you to all the listeners, all our fellow analysts here, KK, Abhi, and thanks Jagan, and also to all the guests that joined today. Thank you very much, and good luck for your playoff games, and also good luck to all the teams that are playing the Contenders Trophy games. And hopefully the weather stays good and we get all the full games. And stay safe, and we'll meet you guys again next week. Thank you all.
Okay, Abhi.
Yeah, to all the listeners, thank you for staying up late again. I think it's understood by now that the show is going to go beyond the allotted time. Already in the last phase of the league, in the Silver Jubilee year, with just 2 games remaining, 2 weekends remaining, I would say. And hard luck to the teams who ended up losing on the losing side in the last weekend. While good luck to all the 4 teams who have made it to the semis, and also there's Contenders that is going on in parallel. So good matchups coming up this weekend. Excited to get to the weekend, and thank you to our host Jagan and my fellow analysts Imti and KK, and also to all the guests who joined in, Chetan, Sahesh, and Arun. See you all next week. Good night, everyone, from me.
Okay, before I go to KK, there's a question from Vijay, Dynamite's captain, to Arun. Arun, are you still there?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, so this is a question for you from your captain. So he wants you to predict Pokhris versus Indus game.
He's trying to put me on spot, huh? Okay. Yeah. It's going to be Pokhris.
It's going to be Pokhris. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be Pokhris.
Okay. I'll go to KK now.
I would like to thank all the guests today for being gracious in the fact that they invite and join today's show, and also give their insights into the game. Because we as analysts, we only try to predict what happens on the ground, right? But when the players enter the field, the outside noise is all shut off. You are the guys who are playing the game. So actually getting the insight from the players who actually play the game would be very, very beneficial to all the listeners as well as the show. So I would like to thank the guests who joined today, and also Abhi and Imti did a fantastic job, with their in-depth analysis. And Jagan, every year the show is only getting bigger. So I want to congratulate you as well. And I would like to thank the retail community, the listeners who are tuning in every week, showing us your love and support. Thank you.
I must say thanks to the listeners, because now the time is 10:32, and the total listener count today is 523. I mean, that's huge. And
that's an amazing number, considering that we are at the fag end of the tournament, and only usually, like we expect that the teams that are in contention only are very curious to listen to this talk. But going from 300 in the regular season to 500 in the playoffs, that's a tremendous achievement, and congratulations to you, Jagan, and the entire DCL community. So thanks guys.